Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our OpenText expert session. Why is trust the most important word in financial services? Featuring Monica Hovsepian, OpenText Head of Financial Services Industry and a member of the Forbes Financial Council. Please add your questions to the chat, and if we have time at the end, we'll answer them. Welcome, Monica.
Melissa, thank you so much, and thank you everybody for joining us today. Here is how the dictionary defines trust. We all, each and every single one of us, have our own definition of trust. Now, trust is built into the fabric of society. It defines how we engage with one another and how we engage with various brands and businesses. Trust isn't something that is given freely. It must be earned over time through consistent and reliable behavior. And once trust is established, it's a powerful force for good. But once it's broken, it's very difficult to kind of bring it back together. And as the saying goes, people buy from people who they trust. Now, every single individual within the organization, in this case, I've just grabbed some screenshots of different personas within a bank that are responsible for building and ensuring trust. Whether it is the security officer inside the branch, whether it's a teller, whether it's a contact center agent, whether it's a financial advisor, even the CEO, every single individual is responsible for building trust and ensuring trust is built with your customers. Now let's take a look at some of the components that develop and build trust. Let's start with reliability. Now, would it actually surprise you if I said that 80% of the data within financial services organizations is unstructured? So banks and financial services organizations, you capture, you generate, you manage vast amounts of structured and unstructured information. Unstructured data, or also known as dark data, ranges from customer interactions, emails, social media posts, and scanned documents and images. Within financial services, unstructured data can also include information from your CRM systems, such as customer service records, customer documents, voice recordings, and surveys. Now, let's take a look at what it takes to go from an irate and upset customer and moving them to a really happy customer. And by doing that is by bringing together the structured and unstructured information that you hold as a financial services organization. And by doing so, you can actually reach operational efficiency by streamlining access to this information. By also doing this, you get that true 360-degree view of your customer across the enterprise. And then your employees are never, ever on the back foot. And you're delivering on proactive service rather than being reactionary. So you've got your employees have those insights to help your customers. How many of you have ever contacted an organization, be it financial services or any, and you've said, you know what, I just received, I had a communication via the email about an offer, or I was speaking to somebody in the branch and, they mentioned this. And you've contacted them through another channel, and the response is, I'm sorry, I have no visibility into that channel. And it makes you wonder, does the organization actually know what they're doing? How are those channels actually interconnected? And do they actually understand you and how they're communicating with you? And then, most importantly, abiding by regulatory compliance. Knowing who you are and how your information is being utilized across the enterprise is absolutely critical. And by eliminating the use of employees having to toggle between numerous systems, it allows them to become more innovative and to deliver on better services. Now let's take a look at consistency. During the pandemic, we all engaged with various brands such as Amazon, Uber, and Netflix, and we realized that we really appreciate those single-click, transparent engagements that we were receiving. And now we want our financial services organizations to become our GPS of financial services. We want our financial services organizations to help us meet our financial health and financial wealth goals. We want our financial services organizations to communicate with us on a personal basis and an ongoing basis that are relevant and consistent with us and where we're trying to go. And we want our financial services organizations to make our daily lives easier and better with less complications. And I think we would all agree with that. Now, self-service and digital advisory services are top of mind. And it's not just with the new Gen Z coming into the marketplace, who are not only employees, but also customers. And that generation is digital first. But it's trickled down to every single generation now, because during the pandemic, we were all forced to embrace the digital channels. So 70% of customers today expect a self-service option, but we also want that self-service option and those digital channels to be intuitive, easy to use, and seamless and frictionless. And 40% of customers have expressed greater need for advice. And that is absolutely critical in today's economy that we're all facing. We want greater advice so that we can do more with the money that we've got. Now I want to pause here for a nanosecond. The greatest transfer of wealth in history is about to happen. And depending on the numbers that we're seeing, it goes up to $8 trillion. So the millennial and the Gen Z population is about to inherit an incredible amount of money. And more than ever, they're looking to receive advisory services. So if you can eliminate a lot of repetitive work from your employees and mundane work, they can spend the time delivering on these great consultative and advisory services that your customers are actually seeking. Now let's take a look at competence. We ran a survey, global survey, with a financial brand and asked global banks across the board, how many systems does it take for your employees to engage with your customers? The results came back. It takes about 6 to 10 systems to engage with your customers. That means a lot of swivel chair. It means a lot of keying, copying, and room for finger errors. It means that you, as organizations, financial services institutions, don't have that overall picture of who your customer is. And by not knowing who your customer is, it opens up a lot of room for frustration by your employees, and it impedes them from being able to deliver on that promise of great customer experience that is the motto of every single organization, whether financial services or any other industry. 70% of workers in insurance claim that they have more work to do today than they have time, and 50% of them are stressed. 90% of HR teams within banks, according to surveys, say that they face difficulties hiring and keeping their staff. Let's face it, financial services institutions are never considered to be these great places to work. I've yet to meet a child that has put up their hand and said, I want to go and work in a bank, or I want to be an insurance broker. But that shift needs to happen because there's some incredibly amazing projects currently going on within financial services organizations. So the mindset shift needs to happen, and employees need to have the systems, tools, and the visibility to assist them to be able to deliver on those great customer experiences that we, each and every single one of us, expect by our financial services organizations. Now let's take a look at integrity. I'm showing 3 pictures of 3 ladies on top. If we were doing this live, I would be actually asking you which ones you think have been generated by AI and which one is a true picture of a person. Well, I'm going to take the mystery out and tell you that the top left and the middle one have been generated by AI. And the one on the right-hand side is actually a colleague of mine at OpenText. I actually asked her for consent, and I want to reinforce that word. I actually asked her for consent to use her picture for the purposes of this presentation. So how we utilize AI, it becomes more and more critical. What we say to AI and how it interprets and understands our communication with it and what it does is now evolving and becoming more and more critical. I want to take a couple of seconds and bring some examples into this. Everybody is aware of the partnership that occurred between Apple and Goldman Sachs. The CEO of Apple, Cook, actually went ahead and tried to apply for his own company's credit card. However, he was declined. It was concerned why he'd actually been declined because there was absolutely no reason for him to have gotten declined. All kinds of red flags went up, and with further investigation, they discovered that the reason why Cook was declined is because of his high profile, which made him a high target for fraud. Obviously, human intervention came into play. The algorithms were quickly changed, and he was approved, and so were other high net worth customers as a result. Now, I have Alexa at home. I've had Alexa for a number of years. Through the years, Alexa has now gotten a lot smarter. Alexa also keeps me honest. So the way that we're utilizing AI and how it interprets is now evolving. The one thing, however, is that what AI cannot do is it can't really feel empathy. It doesn't have the heart and soul that a person does. And what we've seen is that a number of financial institutions are actually putting their staff, their frontline staff, through training to teach them how to become more empathetic. Because as you're introducing younger generation into your staff, they might not have gone through some of the life events that would prepare them to feel more empathetic. For example, a mortgage process is a very long process. It has a lot of ups and downs. People become very emotionally involved. So a young person now joining an organization who's never applied for a mortgage might not be able to sympathize with the long-winded process. So learning how to become empathetic to that situation becomes critical. Also, when it's time to close an account because of a loss of a loved one, requires empathy as well. Potentially a young person joining an organization, financial services organization, who hasn't suffered a loss might not know how to behave empathetically to that situation. So knowing how to deliver messages and how to behave in such a situation becomes critical. And this is where humans can learn from AI. AIs make humans smarter, but AI also needs humans. Now, the stats that I've got on the right-hand side of the slide, interestingly enough, in just over a year, they've actually flipped. Americans now have less trust in AI when it comes to health and medicine, but are putting more trust. They feel more trustworthy in utilizing AI to invest with their money. Now, when it comes down to customer journey, AI can be absolutely beneficial in delivering intelligence, in assisting with bringing that structured and unstructured data together to provide those personalized insights so that engagements can become a lot more relevant. Delivering those frictionless omni-channel engagements become more and more critical throughout the customer journey in delivering those financial wealth and financial health engagements that every single one of us are seeking from our financial services organizations. And the banks that take the AI first mindset are the ones that are going to become competitive and will take the market share. Now, it would be amiss if I didn't talk about cybersecurity when it comes to trust. It's no longer a question of if, but a question of when something is going to go awry. I know for a fact that my credit card has been compromised a number of times. What has developed trust for me with my financial services organization and credit card company is how swiftly and how competently they actually engaged with me and took charge throughout the entire process. Financial services industry is the number 2 most targeted industry when it comes to cyber attacks because of the level of information that we hold. Number 1 is healthcare, and we've seen in the news, healthcare industry is being targeted. Just today, I read about another large financial services institution that announced that they have just been compromised as well. As we are all utilizing AI to deliver better services, to instill better processes, so are criminals. They're utilizing AI as well. So vigilance becomes key in ensuring that you're developing trust with your customers as well. So I've talked about the consistency. I've talked about reliability and integrity and competence. Sincerity, though, comes from your staff. And by delivering that empathetic service, I want to spend a couple of moments and talk to you about commitment. Commitment is where we, OpenText, come into play. We are committed to ensuring that we deliver the technology and the products and the services so that you are always delivering on the other variables of trust to your customers. We like to call it Smarter with OpenText. And today I've been talking about our business unit of modern work with you. But we've got other business units as well that we all come together to assist you across the board. Let's take a look at a couple of our aviator stories, as we like to call them, within insurance. For example, I'm going to go through a use case for insurance. I'm going to go also through a use case for banking. But these are just simple examples that I'm going to be showcasing, but there's many more that we can discuss with you. So by utilizing Aviator and our AI and generative AI, what we can do for a claims adjuster, for example, is by summarizing the case, by providing details to help the claims adjuster close the claim much quicker. We do put limitations on the access to content by permission, so everybody has their own guardrails. We can assist the claims adjuster by identifying a contact who can assist this person, and then draft and translate an email and a communication out. So an aviator can help an insurance company complete the critical work on a claim in less than 5 minutes versus days. So what this means is that your employee is empowered. They can meet their KPIs very quickly. I did share with you that 70% of insurance employees are feeling that they've got more work to do today than they've got time, and 50% of them are stressed out. imagine if you could empower them with something like this so that you're eliminating the stress from them, and then they can spend the time with doing more proactive service calls, and they can spend more time on delivering optimal customer experiences to your customers. Now let's flip to banking, and let's talk about underwriting, for example. Mortgage documents can go upwards of 900 pages. What if, imagine a world where this workspaces could be summarized and so could documents, and relevant informations could be queried for the underwriter so that they're not overwhelmed with these stack of papers, and links to relevant information and documents could quickly be provided, and it could allow the underwriter to have conversational interaction with content and then answer specific questions with accuracy. The world of the underwriter could quickly change. And so by our Aviator, you can help the underwriter gain quicker time to mortgage decisioning, but also do it within the risk and compliance guidelines of your organization. Again, providing excellent employee experience and engagement so that they can meet the requirements of your customer experience. Now, with AI, and this is a quote from our CEO, with AI, everything must change. But AI needs to be done with guidelines. And here's our AI Bill of Obligations. AI needs to build trust through transparency. AI needs to be ethical. It has to be designed with no biases in place. It has to deliver respect towards the intellectual property, has to abide by security and privacy, and it has to be dedicated to accurate, verifiable AI results. And this is a list of the AI Bill of Obligations that we abide by. And I'm proud to say, as a person who also resides in Canada, OpenText was one of the first organizations to sign the AI Bill of Conduct in Canada. And with that, I want to thank you. I've come to the end of my presentation. I hope this has been insightful for you and that what I've shared has been useful to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Monica. And thank you all who joined us. We'll send out the recording shortly. And then if you have any additional questions, you can reply in that email. We hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. And thank you again.